Hi everybody, this is me, Daniel Hutchins, and today, as you can see, I am back in my Spider-Man costume. Yes. Now, the reason I am back in my Spider-Man costume is because I noticed that some of you guys, who are my loyal subscribers, probably noticed that I had closed off an abrupt season of Spider-Man Dan, of me just wearing my Spider-Man baseball hat and not include the whole ensemble. So, you guys are in for a special treat because you guys who are my subscribers for a long time and those who are new subscribers, you guys are going to see me, Spider-Man Dan, talk about comic book universe again for a limited time on the channel, but of course I'll be coming back again if you guys want to leave comments on how often you want to see me, Spider-Man Dan, talk about comic book universe to you guys. Just leave comments after I read this article to you guys. But the article we are talking about is Venom 2. So yes, Venom 2 has just beaten the MCU to the first mention of mutants. Now this is from our friend Screen Rants. Okay, so since it's kind of hard to kind of read the article since it's so small and small print, I'm going to try to change the settings of the zoom settings because I have this on too small. Alright, I had to make it big because my bug eyes can't see them. Okay, so Marvel has had to dance around mutants for years before buying the X-Men and the rest of the 20th Century Fox properties, but Venom 2 had referenced mutants first. Okay, this was from 10 hours ago, guys. Yes, 10 hours ago. Warning, there are some spoilers for Venom Let There Be Carnage. So if you guys seen Venom Let There Be Carnage, then you're good. But if you haven't, I'm going to be talking about this at your own risk. So after years of anticipation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to finally reference mutants, Venom Let There Be Carnage has finally done it. Thanks to the complicated rights situation with various Marvel properties, Disney's MCU movies weren't allowed to reference mutants for even include variations of the word mutant until after they've purchased the X-Men rights through their acquisition with 20th Century Fox. But now that the deal has closed, they are finally talking about mutants, or at least they say they are. But they had the chance to do it with Venom Let There Be Carnage beating them to the punch. So lines have always been a little blurry, particularly with the Avengers Age of Ultron. Now introducing Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, who are mutants in Marvel Comics, has turned out the MCU couldn't actually refer to them as mutants, or use the word mutant, since they only had rights to them via their shared status as Avengers. Now, Kevin Feige has confirmed mutants are on their way to the MCU in the next decade, hopefully. But though there's no movies on the current roster right now that are expected to include them, at least there is some hope. Okay, So related to this article is Venom 2, every Easter egg and Marvel reference explained. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So in lights, the MCU mutant restrictions has made a jump out of even more than when Venom Let There Be Carnage introduced Shriek, who is explicitly a mutant from Marvel comic lore. Although her relationship to Spider-Man characters mean she falls under Sony's collection of Marvel rights, however, unlike Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were in MCU, Venom Let There Be Carnage didn't beat around the bush when it came to where Shriek's powers came from, confirming immediately they were a product of mutations, dropping the M word the MCU was historically restricted from using. Okay, so of course there's pictures down below. They're pretty gruesome, but it's not clear if Sony's particular rights ownership has always given them the abilities to reference mutants in this way, or if the movie's MCU connection meant Disney granted them permission. Despite not having introduced mutants, or even used the word yet themselves, now granted, referring to Shriek as a mutant isn't nearly as loaded as a phrase as it would be to refer to Scarlet Witch as a mutant. Now, Shriek is far more connected to Carnage and other characters in Spider-Man's wheelhouse, whereas calling Scarlet Witch a mutant immediately conjures thoughts of the X-Men. Now, either way, with Venom joining the MCU, at some point, at the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage, it makes Shriek the closest the MCU has ever actually came to official mutants. Even if she wasn't, or she crossed dimensions with Venom during the movie credits. Now, the MCU first official reference to mutants will surely be a momentous occasion, but it will not change the fact that Venom Let There Be Carnage did that first. Okay. So, now we are talking about a bonus. Now, since, I'm in the Spider-Man suit again, I might as well do you guys another bonus. So, Venom 2 makes Vulture and Morbius a Spider-Man universe problem. Okay, so the mind-blown Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit sequence may have turned out that Vulture's cameo in the next year's Morbius into Spider-Man universe is a problem. Now, I don't know about this, but this was from 2 days ago. Okay. So warning, there are some spoilers from Venom Let There Be Carnage. So the mind-blown Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit sequence has turned out that Vulture's cameo in next year's Morbius into Spider-Man universe problem, the trailers for the upcoming Jared Leto film, has successfully built anticipation to the live-action debut of the living vampire. Not in a small part due to the brief tease of Michael Keaton's involvement with Venom Let There Be Carnage ending, which firmly establishes Sony's movies as outside MCU. However, the potential return of Vulture and Morbius bears an explanation and is potentially a serious continuity issue. Okay. So naturally, when fans first glimpsed sight of Keaton in the Morbius trailer, theories had spun around about Vulture's role in Morbius were quick to sprout out. Now, despite the fact Keaton's reprisal of his Spider-Man Homecoming role hasn't been officially confirmed, his quote in Marvel Interconnected Universe points out to the return of Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, when also taking the popularity of Keaton's Vulture into the account. it's a relatively safe bet to expect the character inclusion in Morbius. Now, related to this article is Tom Hardy is mere important, or should I say, Tom Hardy is more important for Morbius than Tom Holland's Spider-Man cameo. Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about someone else. So, as evidenced by Let There Be Carnage post-credit scenes and potential Topher Grace connection to Venom 2, links between characters and universes can also make sense in Marvel canon. Now, variants in multiverse are both established in MCU, thanks to Disney Plus show Loki, and the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home, which, yes, Spider-Man's going to be getting a movie in December. But the issue is that it's unclear which of these routes Sony is taking with the Vulture appearance, leading to the possibilities that audiences are in for disappointment. Okay, so hold up. Yeah, I'm good. Alright. Pictures below. Loki introduced the concept of variants to the MCU, allowing for versions of the same character to populate different universes. Now, in some cases, these variants can even be played by the same actor, as suggested by Jonathan Majors' appearances from Loki and his upcoming roles in Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. The Morbius trailers do intend point toward their existence and inevitable returns of Spider-Man, but it's unclear whether or not Sony's web-slinger will be played by MCU's Tom Holland. The issue with Keaton, in his case, is that there is no precedent from variants in Sony's universe, and also no hints that an explanation of variant fits into the plot of Morbius. Another possibility is that Keaton's Vulture is transported from MCU to Sony's Spider-Man universe by the spell of Doctor Strange uses in Spider-Man No Way Home trailers. This spell, which sets up the battle between Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Sony-verse Doc Ock and Green Goblin, has also potentially brought Venom in Spider-Man No Way Home, which is possible. Then, that the spell gone wrong could have removed some villains like Vulture from the MCU. But that move would require even more explanation than this inclusion of variants. Now, the most concerning option is that Sony is more interested in the fan appeal of having Keaton and Morbius than they are ensuring it lines up with the overall Marvel continuity. Now, though Marvel Studios has taken pains to be consistent as possible in how the multiverse is explained and unraveled, it is unclear if Sony has done the same with their universe. Now, to make matters even more confusing, there is a potential Tom Hardy cameo in Morbius as well, something that will certainly conjure up needs of explanation, considering Venom's recent trip to the MCU. Okay? Related to this article, Morbius in MCU sets up Marvel's Blade movie. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about something else. So Morbius doesn't release until 2022. So there is plenty of time for speculation among potential viewers. Things may also become more clear in future trailers and peeks at the film. Now, hopefully, Morbius can pull this off. Its MCU connection, and as a successful and surprising as a way to the one in Venom Let There Be Carnage. Okay. So there you go, guys. That is just a screen rant double for you. So if you guys like this content, please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know if you want to see me return again as Spider-Man Dan for the limited time run. And if you want to see me do more videos as Spider-Man Dan on my channel, also let me know in the comment section below. And again, this was a special treat that I decided I wanted to do for you guys. Now, since you know Spider-Man is a relevant topic right now with comic book universe. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed seeing me in the Spider-Man suit again. And again, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And I might be coming back as Spider-Man Dan with the padded suit and the mask probably sometime this week. I don't know. I might be bringing my suit back to a couple more videos. You don't know. But until then, see you in the next upload. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.